Fam, what is up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies in the building with Coach Coleman. Coleman today. Let me apologize for a couple things. Gotta apologize for a couple things today, y'all. Number one, we didn't get the now joining the conversation show done today, and I am not on camera at this time. I feel better than I look right now. But I wasn't feeling well too long ago. I'm feeling a little bit better. Couldn't let the show not go on. So here I am, but no camera tonight, folks. Back tomorrow on screen. My apologies. Let's get to it. Let me also remind y'all, it's time for y'all to get y'all uncommon books. Cess Talk Sports book club starts back up May 25th with the release of Don Staddy's Uncommon Favor. Make sure you got that in your collection. We're going to be ready to go with that. Coach Coleman, y'all coming in the door. Run them likes up. Hit them likes coming in the door. What's good? Whoa. What's good? Ruby, Milk Rider for you. D. Lee, what's happening, y'all? Appreciate y'all pulling up. Let's rock, man. Let's rock. Coach Coleman, what's happening?
And we know how to rock. You remember, girl, to the 1 second. Okay.
Current to shake my hand in the building. Rockman Media, what's good?
Shake my hand, walk away. It reminds me of an Eric Roberson song. Eric Roberson. We grew up in the same town, Broadway, New Jersey. Rockway. Now there's roughly a guesstimate. Rob the Media help me out with this. As of today, 1,421 entries into the portal. Come out and play, and it's about 300.
A lot of action in the portal. Yeah,
372 commits. Roughly around 27 withdrawals. No, excuse me. 24 names. They withdrawn their name.
Okay. Some folks going back to where they was at.
Boston College has one, two, three. They have a whole roster sale.
I believe it.
They have an increase recently.
Let's talk on some of the bigger names. The bigger names moving around in the portal.
You go.
And I want to get like your understanding, because there's some names who I thought, especially because the hope is that you have a plan when you get in there. So there were some names that I thought when they would get in there, they would get right out, like Iselia Arenas. I'm surprised to see her still in the portal. So y'all let me know what y'all think too. I see Leia's in the portal. I think I've heard that there was about 2 or 3 schools. I've heard that there was a reach out to LSU, maybe a visit to Vandy. So a lot of activity in the portal. These players moving around, but how long is too long to be in the portal, y'all? Let me know. Paris, what's up? Spoiled Brat, what's good? Dr. Ivy Girl, what's good? LSU doing a big one for Sarah on her visit. Really? Okay, so they showing off for Sarah Williams. Do y'all expect Sarah to go there? Come on, Coach, let me know. I've been hearing UConn. UConn has a place for Sarah. I'm hearing LSU doing a big one. Hearing Lay visiting Vandy. Lay not LSU. You don't think Lay to LSU? Okay. No. Where do y'all see Lay? Where do y'all see Lay going now that she's officially in the portal? Where could she end up? 87 in the chat, y'all. Run them likes up. Is there Russell? Only bring the facts to the chat over there on the Instagram. What's up, fam? Coach, is there a such thing as too long in the portal?
I think so. But I think that's the calculated risk you take. Some people, and here's the thing is, the choice is the players, and their business team. And so they make that decision, and you think you got a few bites, and some people are just everybody. I've been a coach, so there's an old school thing. If we can just get a talent away, we think that lessens the strength of the team. So then there's an old school thing of just recruiting talent and really not playing them because they're not on my rivalry, or they're not on the opposing team in my conference, or they're not on my nemesis team that I play every year on my non-conference schedule, what have you. So as a coach, there's so many different reasons, so many strategies behind the scenes. I think sometimes fans tend to forget it's some old what I call old school strategies are still being used because they can, and they're doing it under the mask of the portal. So everybody, everybody says that their coach doesn't mean that they care. So that's my quick take on that. So there's so many different schemes, just like you have schemes, offensive and defensive schemes. Uh, Preparing for the game. There's so many schemes when it comes to recruiting players, and now the portal. The portal is the thing, and so my concern is someone may say something to you, but if I don't see it in paper, I don't see a potential offer, then why should I get in there? And then what are the reasons why you're going in there? I mean, if the pay is respectful, your minutes are well, you're producing respectfully, then at some point you may look at it, is this getting greedy and selfish? So yes, some may play it safe, or some may go for the big home run in the game of basketball, the pun on words there. But so at the end of the day, it still comes down to that player, that young lady, that young person, that young adult, and their business team. And I may not like it, but I'm gonna respect that, and they feel like they're doing what's best for them. But sometimes, you know what, the gym isn't better on the other side of town. Sometimes it is. It looks like it, but sometimes it's not.
All right, I see y'all in the chat. Y'all saying, do y'all think MiLaysia's shoe deal had a lot to do with this transfer? And then I don't know what you saying here. Sue T playing time and her shoe sales. I don't know what the last part of that is, Paris. I mean, she's at an Under Armour school, so I don't know. I don't know if Under Armour came and was like, "Hey, leave this Under Armour school to go there." MiLaysia hasn't given a reason why she's leaving. So, and I don't want to speculate. I have no idea why Leia's leaving.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to put words in the mouth, but I'm gonna put this out there. Young adult, social media, so much going on, influences, people they look up to, other things they got to look at, other things on the table, a small window to make a certain amount of money because you blink and your college career is over. So I'm gonna just put those things out there, but I'm not gonna say, "Oh, it's that." I agree with you. I'm not gonna put any words in her mouth or thoughts in their head, and we'll wait till that time comes to see what it has. All you can have is speculation. I know people want to have some hot takes and hot tea, but at this time, it's a situation I really want to respect and hope it works out for the better. I am very concerned that she might be missing something there on her next stop, but she has that.
The other thing is, you just talked about players that withdrew their name from the portal too. So you get out there, you see what it is, you check, I get, like we were talking earlier, Rob has been talking about this. We had Coach Dre on earlier, and we were just talking about the transfer portal and what it means. And sometimes it's, for different kids, and I'm not talking about anybody specific in the portal right now. For some kids, it could be that they need new money, they need fresh money. For some kids, it could be that they need more minutes. They didn't like the school where they at. A lot of these kids get places based on the money, and then they drop they get there and they don't like where they at, or it's not a good fit. So I love that they have the right to make another decision. But I also feel like we don't want to just keep seeing people just transfer year after year after year after year. Like, let's put a cap on it. Look, 2 transfers, and then other than that, unless your coach leave, kind of be where you at. Because I want people to take more time in making a decision. Look past the money. Okay, get the dollar amount, and once you got that agreed upon, check off all the other boxes. Do you like the team? Does the scheme of the team fit with your skill set? Are you going to be able to grow and develop here? Is your major here? Do you like the city? Those type of things. So that's the thing. Those are the things that I need to. I think that we need to address. Shonda Dore, what's going on? Spoiled Brat, you say I think Sarah's committing to LSU by the end of this weekend. Okay, Ashley, what's happening? Mocha Latte one. I don't know about Virginia Tech. I think later Ole Miss or Vandy. What you got, Coach? Go ahead.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but here is the changing of the times. Things are not going to stay the same, so that's a little bit of old model. I think there will be some modifications, but we'll go back to the coach can leave if something doesn't go well, go on and move on. And so something's not working for a player, and it's a 2-year cap, and then that second year, that second move, something out of their control happened. Now they're stuck. They should have the opportunity to leave again.
No,
is their life, their career. So I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not even about academics. It's about what's the best interest for them and their family. And a lot of these players, a good portion of these players that play at a high level in Division One, are from situations where they really can benefit from the income, And so it's just you got to expand. You gotta capitalize when it's your time. Because at one point, here's the thing: all the stuff we hear now that they're doing was stuff that was illegal and it was done under the table. Some of the things that we're talking about, even they show, people got to realize it was still being done, but it was being done behind the scenes, and players were still getting paid or getting things taken care of. And so now we expand the bag and make it more legal and get more substantial money into their pocket. So a lot of things now in 2025 we hear, or since the NIL, these things have been going on, but was not deemed legal per se.
Yeah, and as far as coaches not having to stay, that's fine. If your coach leaves, I love the fact that the portal opens for you for 30 days if you decide that you want to go. But every year for you to get up and transfer and go to another program, I don't see that that's healthy for the growth and development of a player, right? Moving towards the next level. So for me, I would like to see it capped 2 times. And then after that, if your coach leaves, because we talked about it earlier, most of these kids are going to the school to play for the coach. It's not about the coach. It's not about the team. It's not about the school. They want to play for that coach. So if that coach leaves, then I understand. Hey, I want to get up out of here, but stick it out. But we may see that change anyway with the revenue sharing coming in to take the place of the collectives. You may see now as players become employees in a sense that they may have to sign employment contracts. They keep them at schools for the first 2. They keep them at schools for 2 years or 3 years. So we may see that change anyway. Depends on what she's looking for. I don't think Lay would have gotten the portal if she didn't know where she wanted to go. Yeah, it's one thing to know where you want to go, and then it's another thing to be able to iron out the contract that gets you there. So I'm sure that she got in the portal with a plan. Now, is she able to execute that? That's why I'm sad she left. If she go to a top school, which I doubt, because she'll still come off the bench. She'll better get used to losing, but she'll definitely be a star, getting all the highlights. I don't know. I don't know that she's got to get used to losing. She can go someplace and win. Like my expectation, wherever Lay picks to go play, my hope is that we're playing against them in the national championship game. I want that kid to still play for championships. I don't see just losing in her future. But I can't put words in her mouth either. I don't know why she wants to leave. She ain't told us. And I don't know if she'll ever tell. I don't know if she'll ever address that for us. I see people in the chat trying to, put words in her mouth and saying what it is that she wants. Unless you got a receipt that shows that's what she said, it's just your opinion. That's just your opinion. I don't think the Lay won a chip every year. I think she lost one year to Joyce, didn't she?
I think so. I think that is the story.
So 143 in the chat, y'all. Run them likes up for me. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I don't think that she won a chip every year that she played varsity basketball. If it's some local folks in the chat, let me know. And it may not be the Joyce that she lost, but I think she lost one year. I think she was a runner-up one year. And Lay's not the only one out there that I thought would have been going. Like I said, I thought Arenas would have been out the portal now. I know people were speculating that she was going to go back, that she was going to go to Arizona. Arizona's kind of hard sell right now to me. I don't know. There's a lot of money in Arizona. Who's the coach in Arizona? Who else would be there with you in Arizona? So I don't know. And then Heckle's another one that I thought would have been out of the portal, kind of in and out. Lay have freedom, but you cannot allow her to make mistakes when it hurts the team. Well, no player can can be out there making mistakes at the detriment of the team. Every player plays through some challenges, and then when it gets to be too much, they sit you down. But she's still a sophomore going through her journey. So for the people who like, oh, she got benched and she didn't like getting benched, it would be different if you could come in and be like, she was the only one getting benched, or she was the only one that was only allowed to make certain mistakes, or she was the only one who got yelled at. But no, it was even getting out there. Dawn to get at anybody that was making mistakes. She didn't have no problem sitting nobody down. She didn't have no problem telling nobody what they did wrong. She didn't have no problem standing by her team. Like, she was the same coach. She was the same for all of them. Yeah, Lay took the most shots. She had a green light. Absolutely. Had a green light. And we were told that what kept her out of the game was if she said to bring her out because she was tired, or issues on defense. So, I don't, for the people that's like, oh, she needed freedom, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I wish her the best. I'm happy that she's empowered to make the choices that she feels like she needs to make for her career. And now I just want her to make the best decision for herself. Darnell Baylor, what's good? What's good? Is it a paperwork with OCOT? Something? Do y'all know something? I'm hearing something about visa type stuff, but I'm not sure.
Student visas.
Yeah, but it seemed like they would have been working on that already because she was gonna be a student anyway. You know what I mean? She's just a student at a different school, trying to be a student at a different school. So I don't get what the actual holdup is. On location at the Costco, Lay won 4 state titles in high school. She played varsity for 6 years since 7th grade. Right, 4 of them out of 7. So four of them out of 6. So she won a lot, but she also knows how. She's also been in situations where she lost chips too. So to be like she always won the chip, which was what was in the chat, that was just inaccurate. So thank you for clearing that up for me. Late junior or senior year, she didn't win. She injured in the late round of SC high school playoff. Thank you, Dean. I'm not saying she's gonna be a loser. I'm saying in general, depending on the school she goes to, don't expect you to have as many wins as SC did, especially if she doesn't go to a team with the. I don't know. I get what you're saying. But I hope that she's gonna pick a team that contends. If winning is her goal, I would hope that she's putting herself into a situation to contend. Kia High Life, what's good, fam? I wish her the best, but I hope she didn't let the people on the internet influence her decision about leaving SC. And she hasn't officially left SC. She's in the transfer portal. So she can still take her name out of the portal if she doesn't find something that works for her. But just wishing her the best. Just wishing her the best. Like all of these kids, really. Like all of these kids.
I think Arenas is gonna be okay because you have a parent that knows the business and has some. And I think it's just a matter of waiting and being patient and letting it develop. I mean, because it got to April 22nd.
Well, she's in the portal. You only have to be in the portal by the 22nd. So that's a good point,
right,
Coach.
Right.
That's a great point about maybe waiting. I like that. Right. Yeah, we watching Power tonight. Got you.
So you got to see where some other skill sets, some other players land, or who you would like to play with, because it may be someone she played at AAU, someone she played in high school. They're trying to reconnect, reunite on the court, and so they're just trying to work out those logistics. You know what I mean? And so or work out the package deal.
Mm-hmm.
You're working out package deal.
But you said waiting, and that gave me an aha moment. And so I wonder with a player like Arenas, right, where you have a father, you're a second generation pro, and it's raising Canaan, key highlight. You're a second generation pro. Is it better, especially with her as a scorer, to kind of wait and let the dust settle and see where other people go, and then try to make a good decision?
For sure.
And is there certain criteria where it's better for you to wait versus trying to get to a team as soon as possible?
I mean, she's not in a position. She doesn't have to take, because her pedigree and the level of play, we're aware of what she can do. She doesn't have to take the first thing smoking. First thing coming across the desk. She doesn't have to. So it's just a matter of seeing where it best fit, best needed, for her. For whatever reasons, preferred to leave where she's at because it just wasn't a good fit or whatever. They have their list. So now, once your first year, you have your list of what doesn't work well for you on a campus experience and on a basketball program, and even with coaching and coaching staff. Now that you should take that list, and when you're in the portal, are you using that list to look through? Okay, the things that I'm looking for.
Put your high school cap on. Put your high school coaching cap on for me, real quick. High school.
Okay.
So you got high school. You got girls, and I don't know what year it would be, but they got to start looking at colleges. They got to start looking at programs. What are those things that you're telling them that they should? What are or questions that they should be asking to be able to generate that list of what would be a good fit? The schools that they should be looking at, that they should be trying to get recruited by. Based in this world of NIL and collectives and revenue sharing and all of this fun stuff. And does that change?
Well, first of all, location. Does a location fit you? Right? If you go to high school in the city and now you're going to college where it's rural and you're 30, 40 minutes away from anything close to remote the city, can you adjust to that? So location. Because you know why I say that? Because it can have an impact on your mental and emotional well-being. If you're not comfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, UConn might sound really great. They just won a national championship, but are you gonna like it in stores on Wednesday when it's not basketball season? Like, are you gonna like it in stores on Saturday night when it's not basketball season?
Then
can you adjust? Can you make the adjustment to be, to be able to find alternatives to what you used to do in the city? If you're in stores, can you make that sacrifice for the growth and development that you get with working with a Gino Auriemma and opportunity to play for a national championship for UConn, right? I think is that what we're saying?
Right.
Okay. And I see you saying that Lay may get to a school that she may be able to play her game, but she will regret it because she will not get the same training to prep her for the W. When she gets to the W, she won't get her way. Again, I want to say, number one, that I don't know why Lay is leaving school. Choosing to get in the transfer portal from South Carolina. I shouldn't say leaving school, not leaving school. Choosing to transfer from South Carolina. I'm not wishing any regret on her. And the one thing I'll say is that for everybody that's like, she wants to get her way, she wants to be free, she wants to. It suggests the ego or attitude that I just didn't really see from her. Did I see her pout sometimes when she came out the game? Yeah, I've seen Steph Curry pout when he got pulled from the game. Sometimes that's the passion, I think, of a kid. But like when y'all say get her way, to me that's like a player that's gonna throw a tantrum when they don't get their way. I saw MiLaysia Fulwiley try to do a lot of growing as a player this year. I saw her grow in a lot of areas. Did she have moments where she was still a sophomore on the floor? Hell yeah. But guess what? That was because she was still a sophomore on the floor. I see her get compared to players all the time, like Tanaya Latson, Raven Johnson. These young ladies have way more college basketball experience than MiLaysia Fulwiley. When you come from a situation where you just been the one, sometimes it's hard to make that transition, especially in the heat of the battle. But I don't necessarily want to say that she won't get the training. She may not get the training and the development that she needs at that school, but there's a lot of kids in school right now that I don't think are in programs that can get them the growth and the development that they need to go to the W. What MiLaysia can do is take advantage of the partnerships that she has with Under Armour and the money that she generates from NIL to be able to continue training outside of basketball, and continue the training that she's been doing. Like Lay's been working with Khadijah Sessions since she was like what, 7th, 8th grade. I don't think that just stops. It may look different, but I don't think that it just stops. I think that she's driven to be as successful as possible. So I think that she's gonna keep working at that. But she doesn't come off as this kid that's really egotistical or my way or the highway or none of that. None of that stuff to me. So I don't know. Wherever she end up, I just want her. I just want her to be able to enjoy college, not be in a rush to get to the dub, to have a successful basketball career. 311 for you. Boo. Boo. Do you think someone was in MiLaysia ear about money?
It's a cutthroat business, so anything's possible. We weren't there. We don't know. And I think Coach Big Drip and everything I think they handled everything well. So there's some things you just leave to the respect of the relationship of the player and the program.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody was in her ear about money. I don't know that anybody was in her ear about money. I don't really think that. I don't know. Dawn's programs are specifically designed to help the girls learn how the WNBA and USA ball works. Yes, that's absolutely true.
That's
And
it.
Lake could feel like, you know what? I saw this for 2 years. I got a great understanding for that, and now I want to hear something from a different tone. Right? Here's the thing: if Lake goes to Ole Miss, she's for sure gonna have to play some defense. And I know everybody's like she's gonna be able to score, but you can't get on the floor for Coach Yo, just like you can't get on the floor for Coach Staley without playing defense. So her defense will continue to develop. Lay made great strides. We can't blame her for wanting more, and that's anybody. If you want more for your life, she's gonna make mistakes, but that's growth. Yeah, and I mean everybody's been in situations, or at least I hope, where shoot, you was on a job, right? And then somebody say, "Hey, they hiring over here, and they paying such and such, and that's more than what you're getting over here, and it's been good, and it's nice over here, and you know them. But what about this money over here?" And it was okay for us to leave our jobs, right? It was okay for us to make different decisions about our careers. This is her career.
Right.
And it could be that she goes out and messes it up, right? So, I messed up a lot of stuff at 1920. I messed up a whole lot of stuff at 1920. I blew a whole lot of opportunities at 1920.
Yep. Choir over here. I'm the choir.
Look, I lived to see the next day, though. So give her the space and grace to just be 19 and 20 and be able to make these decisions in a realm that most of us probably can't even relate to. This is a hometown hero. Every place she goes, somebody is probably saying something. How good she is, or how much time she ain't getting, or how much time she should
Uh-huh.
be getting, or how much money
Uh-huh.
she should be getting, or how
Uh-huh.
much money she shouldn't have got. Like everybody got something to say. She could just be tired of that. Who knows? Unless she tell us, we don't know. But as it looks right now, it looks like she's planning to go someplace else. We hope MiLaysia do well until she reconfirm her positive allegiance to the Gamecock Nation. Otherwise, it's past history review. Well, I mean, she's always a Gamecock for me. I like the way Dawn plays her girls on the floor too. I like that they don't have to play 30, 40 minutes a game. I like that about her program. They may not like that. It may be something that you ask the players what they least like about it. That might be one of the things. But it affords them the opportunity not to be worn down later in the season, and it affords them the opportunity to have fresh legs later in games, and is part of the standard that allows them to play deep into March and April. So it's a trade off, and you make that trade off so you don't want to anymore. Yeah, she got a ring. She a Gamecock. It's a hometown hero right there. That's a hometown hero right there. And the thing is, one of the things that I learned is that when you take your feelings out of it, the only thing we can really do is be appreciative of the time that she was here, because that was the time that she was supposed to be here based on her journey, right? However long that is, just be appreciative of that time. It sting a little if she leave, like, dang man, it's gonna be. What do you look like in another uniform? We don't know. But I'm so appreciative of the time that she gave and the work that she put in, because she worked her ass off as a Gamecock. I was just asking because Coach Prime called out a coach from Virginia telling his players he would give them money because one of the players told Prime, and he called the coach out on TV.
I mean, it's a business that happens. It's part of business. We don't know that. There's nothing been said or speculated, so I'm not going to put that in the mix, but that is part of business when you're trying to get players and
oh man, they out there hating on people. They out there hating on each other, coach. Oh, you go over there to Coach Coleman. Coach Coleman ain't gonna let you play. Coach Coleman run that old boring offense. He ain't gonna. Coach Coleman, that's how they be talking. Coach Coleman.
You must have seen me coach, Cess.
Nah, I didn't see. I'm just saying. I just know how them coaches be hating.
Hey, I mean, did you watch one of my games? He don't let them loose.
It's sad to see one leave and one should stay. Yes, MiLaysia's she had the best coach in her learning stages, and it's important to get our pride aside and be better. It's sad to see one leave and one should stay. Listen, I can't say that she should stay because I don't know why she's leaving. I think only thing I can say is that she should make the very best decision for herself and the one that she can live with, because she got to look herself in the mirror every day. And I wish she would change her mind. 209 in the chat, y'all. Want them likes up. I got 209 in the chat, but I'm only seeing 34 likes. Please take a second, double tap on that screen, hit that like. If you're watching on the TV, scroll up and to the right, hit that like on us tonight, please. Thank you. It cost you nothing.
Yeah. So we back to the so the thing would be, she could come back. She's in the portal. I mean, she hasn't committed.
That would be between her and the school, but there's an opportunity to come out of the portal. But you have to make sure you have a conversation with your coach. Like anybody that's in the portal can come out of the portal, but they make sure.
Right.
Before you come out, the coach is like, yeah, you can come on back home. I knew you wasn't going nowhere anyway. Come on back.
Man, somebody gonna pick her up just because it puts people in the seats. That's money.
Well, shoot. April 22nd is the last day to get in the portal. And the thing, Coach Dre was saying this today, and you mentioned too how players how schools strategize, right, to keep talent from your school. Like Coach Dre was talking about, shoot. There are players who they'll tell football players, man, I'll give you $5 million just to get in the portal. Not even to come to my school,
right?
But to get in the portal just so you ain't there no more.
Yep.
I'm willing to spend that money so that you're not there. Think about that.
Yep. And if
I don't even care where you go. I don't even care where you'll go, as long as it's not there.
And if your family's in need of the money, what you gonna do?
You feel like she'll be heading back her senior year, Benji baby? Okay. I mean, Michi's on his way back. Yeah, Michi's coming back to South Carolina.
Hey,
Emily, what's good?
When they say if you love them, you let them go.
Oh man.
Gracefully.
What is it? Pretty Wings? Yeah, like Pretty Wings.
Pretty.
Yeah. They're pretty wings. At the end of the day, Dawn, the team, the fams, the media, her mom, this is what Lake wants, her decision, her choice, her journey, her life lesson. Yeah, she's a star and she needs to shine. Yeah, she got to figure that out. Lake got to make the decision that allows Lay to sleep like a baby at night. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. And what I want for Lay is that for her to make the decision sooner than later, so that she gets a full off season of working wherever she's going to be, right, and acclimating herself, to a new place if that's where she's going to be, or picking up where she left off with the Gamecocks if she comes back.
Well, all I want to say in respect to Coach Big Drip, Dawn Staley, is that I don't like sometimes people so easy to say was holding MiLaysia back, Fulwiley back. It's a difference when a coach is developing a player, not just to win games now, but also for their future goals. And so there's a difference. They're developing their mind, they're developing their physical skills. And so it takes a process to do that. And so I think what people mistaken for holding back is somebody pouring in and investing into a student and to develop them, but they're not holding them back. They're getting them to play a way they haven't challenged themselves to play. They're getting them to see the game in a way they haven't seen the game before, and things of that nature. And so, and that's because they care about them. They want them to expand what they can do. And so, for sometimes that learning process may look like they're holding them back, but they're not holding them back. They're learning how to become a better person and a better player.
So, anybody can let her freestyle on the court, but does that improve her game? Do y'all really think that anybody they gonna just let her like here like get the ball, do what you want to do?
I think it's gonna be some what we call open offense. Open offense is usually spread the floor. You got 1 or 2, 3. It depends where she goes. But obviously, I think the speculation is I'm not going to speak for the fan, but just observing from the outside, looking in on some of the guessing game here going on in the chat is that it's going to be somewhere where you want to see the the sauce, the sizzle. You know what I mean? put them in the seats. Put them in the seats, right? Heat those seats up. Heat those seats up with bodies, and let the revenue churn. Let the revenue churn. You're not just gonna get us so not to fill the seat. I'm just talking from a business perspective. I'm not talking about developing layers of play. I'm talking about you able to coach or encourage her to get away. Okay, free opportunity, and what do? You appeal, you make promises that you're not intended to keep, or you bend somewhere so you can keep the player, and so you let them do a little bit of what you prefer them not to do. That makes sense. And so it all depends on the coach and the program, but I could see seeing a big difference in Lay's play from South Carolina, and if Lay transferred to a different school.
Got it. Okay. The people on the SC roster right now that I see, so Chloe Kitts, Tanaya Latson, Joyce Edwards, Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, Ashlyn Watkins, who not somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat, is back in the gym. Is back in the gym now. Maddie McDaniel, Miriam Dowder, Adele Todd, Isla McDowell, Agot McCure.
I don't think Coach Hill wanted to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Maddie.
No, go ahead.
He's talking about. I just think Coach Yo has the utmost respect for whatever's going on. Coaches talk, and when you have that relationship, so I'll be shocked if Coach Yo touches that with Lay or put something.
Here's what I said about Coach Yo and this thing. Coach Yo came out and said, "What, ma'am? Listen, that's not facts. I'm not pursuing Lay. Okay, fine, right. No problem. Coach Yo didn't pursue Lay. Now, flip side, if Lay called Yo, right? Let's say after Yo said, "Hey, I'm not pursuing Lay," but Lay called Yo to me, based on the interactions, then the engagement that I saw between Yo and Dawn. What I would expect is a call that says, "Hey, Dawn, Lay called. How you want me to move?" Right. Because see, for me, Dawn's thing is, if she don't want to be here, I want her to be someplace that's gonna take care of her and develop her. Take care of my baby, yo. Right. I don't know, and then you just go from there. To me, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see.
Late birthday is coming up on 4/21. Maybe she'll use that date to make her announcement as to where. Maybe. Now my bad. I agree with that. Okay, yeah. Well, Mississippi is close to South Carolina too. Too close. Maybe not. Auntie Facts, Coach Yo would definitely do that. I agree. Yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be no I was sneaking in your backyard type thing. She's got a young lady that's there from South Carolina already. I can't think of her name. What's the young lady coming in to play for South Carolina for Yo? Would there be an interest of pairing those two together? Would Lay have an interest in playing with her? I don't know. But if Lay had an interest in going there, based on how Dawn handled Ja last year, I think if Lay was interested in having Dawn help her in selecting the next best place for her, I think that Dawn would sit down and have that conversation. So there's that. There's absolutely that.
Right. So,
But I also heard about Vanderbilt. What would you think about a Lay Blake's Pierre core three out of Vandy?
that's a lot of offense, but I don't know if that's gonna get them to where they like to go. Be honest with you.
But what was Vandy a lot of defense anyway? Vandy was like, we gonna outscore you. You get
Right.
55, I get 55, everybody get 55, and we'll see what the hell happened. You understand what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. I don't. So I don't. You could say, oh, that looks good, but then it can hurt because it opens up the offense too much, and then it's not enough defense. Then you don't even play the little bit of defense you need to play in a who gets to 91st kind of game. What I mean? Who scores 91st wins or something like that, and that's kind of Vandy's thing. So, uh, I mean, is it Shay? Coach Shay is. Good coach. I mean, she worked best with what she has, but I don't even know if that location would fit Lay. But I don't know. Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean Tennessee. You said that. What about Texas? Mm.
I couldn't go play for Vic but that's Lay's choice.
Uh,
I couldn't, but you have the right to go where your
so
heart leads.
it would be like a Rory and a Lay backcourt with Preston coming off the floor.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand how Vandy is lower tier in competition and they in the same conference. I don't get that part.
Didn't Vandy make it to the tournament?
I don't. You would have to help me understand that part. Like they play in the SEC. As a matter of fact, they was talking as if they thought Vandy was gonna beat us this year. So I don't. What do you mean lower competition? That's an SEC team. So I don't know, James. What you mean there? Yeah, I don't know. And I like. Yeah, Vandy ain't no host for sure. And
Yeah, no.
I actually like Shay Ralph. She's to me next in line when Gino go.
For
She
sure.
just buying her time over there in Vandy. She can recruit. She can coach. She knows the game. Tennessee is loaded and big, and Lay will need to grow a few inches.
Pause.
Okay. Tennessee, that's the same Tennessee that she would see at South Carolina.
Right.
So, so I don't understand why she got to be taller with Vandy, but she's okay at South Carolina with Tennessee. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I don't understand, and that didn't help clear it up for me. That just got it got more murky for me right there.
Murky the waters.
Yeah, it got more murky for me with that one. I don't know, James. I don't like Tennessee Sister Filet and Coach. That purse was crazy, or that pause was crazy.
Oh, pause.
I think that pause was crazy.
Oh, okay.
They loaded and big, yeah. Said, and then Lay got to grow. Said pause, yeah. The pause that was crazy.
Purse. That pause like that pause.
Yeah. He was a little old fashioned, old school country where I don't know what it was. It had some kind of twang on it though, Banjo Baby, that we weren't clear. We weren't clear.
Oh, okay. Pause.
Besides Lay, who is the next transfer portal player that you are excited to see make a decision?
I mean, you already mentioned Sarah Williams. I mean, I have to agree with you on that. I have to go along. We in our pregame talk we talked about that. So I think somebody will have just a gift with Sarah Williams, Jim, and then hopefully a program that has something to offer. Sarah Williams as well, because she to just kind of increase, and I would even say clean up the footwork. Clean up the footwork, get it and start getting it her footwork pro ready if that's her desire. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, Okai for me. I would love to see where Okai is going. Samaya, if you're talking Samaya Smith landed at Virginia.
right. Yeah.
Samaya Smith landed at Virginia, y'all. Okai is one I'm waiting on. We talked about Arenas, and we said it may be good for Arenas to just kind of sit back and let some of the dust settle in and see
You
where
got
does my
to.
skill set fit in best, right? But
Yeah.
now let's flip the script. For Kiyomi McMillan, right? Is it good for her to? If you were advising her, would you be
Uh-huh.
looking to get her signed right away, or would you be saying, "Hey, let the dust settle, and then let's see where you fit best"?
Well, I mean, she has a proven skill set. She didn't play a lot of games, but she can play, so you don't know. She doesn't have to be anxious because she's got game. She can be her. I think the question is let the dust settle and let some maturity come upon you and kind of put some more distance between you and that experience, if that makes sense, that Rutgers experience.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you put some more distance between that, and then people kind of tend to get short term memory, So,
And we still don't actually know what the Rutgers situation was, other than she didn't play no more.
But remember, but here's the thing: we don't know. But you got to remember, I once been on that inside circle. The circle does news travels in the circle. You got to remember that.
When you say the circle, you talking about
Coaching, the work
college
that
coaches,
that
coaches.
that news that gets around. It may not on the social media. They have remember coaching connection and families and ads. They have their own network that you'll never see posted on social media. If that makes sense.
Okay, got you. Just private stuff to where they talk.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you think about Kylie coming to us? She's taller than Chloe. Listen, I've been telling y'all since the beginning of the season that when they said that she was red shirting, for her to just red shirt and then come to South Carolina. I've been wanting Kylie Kitts in South Carolina ever since I found out that there was a Kylie Kitts. Okay. And then after I saw that she was taller and bigger than Chloe, I said, "Oh yeah, I really want this kid." And then when I saw her actually do the interview where she said they asked her, "Hey, how would you guard Chloe?" She said, "Step back off of her because I'm the better shooter." I really wanted the kid. Okay, so I'm all for Kylie Kitts. If Don say so, yeah, come on.
But
Yeah,
didn't
go
you
ahead.
say it was a no contact? I didn't remember, but I thought I remember you saying I didn't look it up, but I remember you were letting us know.
I thought Kylie entered with a do not contact.
Right.
But I'm also finding that do not contact doesn't not. I've also learned that do not contact does not necessarily mean that you know where you're going. It can also be a way to keep schools that you just keep you from having to take all of these calls. Don't
Right.
contact me. It's
Schools
kind
is
of like don't
way
call me, I'll call you. Kind of
right.
that's what it can be used like that as well. So, I see that, and then I see Mokalate one. You saying that calling out her coach was a bad look. Was Kylie and Tanaya coming and writing on the wall for Lay? I don't know if Kylie is coming.
Right. We don't
And
know.
Tanaya coming wasn't writing on the wall for Lay as far as I understood because Lay played with Tanaya before. So Lay, Tanaya, Ashlyn, Joyce, Raven, Camilla all were an AAU team. Right? They all play AAU basketball together. So they asked Lay, and Lay was like, it looked like 38-0. And keep in mind, when the news hit that a birdie came to the nest, and we found out GM Hollywood had been out there getting everything signed off and everything. The next thing Raven said was, "Now let me go get us a big." So I don't think anybody thought that the next thing that was going to happen was Lay leaving, right? Because it was like, let me go get us a big so we can make this thing go. It's showtime over here.
Right.
Man, Lay don't get to play through mistakes. She gets up every 3 minutes. Bryce, that's not accurate. I've seen Lay play through examples. You said, can you give some examples? I've seen Lay play through mistakes. I've seen Lay make mistakes and look over to the floor like, am I coming out? And they've been like, no, go ahead and play. So That's not accurate. That's just not accurate as her entire game. Are there moments where she makes mistakes in parts of a game where we can't afford to have any more mistakes and she has to sit down for the detriment of the team and the game? Yeah, there are moments where okay, we got to stop the bleeding. But just every time she make a mistake, she's not going to sit down. That's not accurate. That's not accurate. And everybody plays about 3 to 5 minutes. Nobody plays really more than 20 minutes on the team. So everybody playing about 3 to 5 minutes when they out there. About half of the about 3 to 5 minutes every quarter. So that's just the rotation more so than it is she gets pulled because she's making mistakes. Part of that is just that's Dawn's rotation. It's announcers in games who spoke on Dawn letting Lay play through mistakes all the time. Yeah, she's letting her play through the mistakes, and there's moments where she does. That narrative is just out there. Lay's gone now, so we got to focus on who we have and who we getting to get hold again. Absolutely, absolutely. And Lay's not necessarily gone. She's in the transfer portal, but we got some great talent coming in. And like I said, I still expect for us to be playing for a national championship next year. I'm just as confident in our team. Um, She should have been starting. She played big in chip game as a freshman. How do you not start the next year? She didn't earn the right to start. I don't know how come she didn't. She asked what it took to start. Don told her what it took to start, and apparently she didn't meet those requirements. We weren't there, Bryce. No, go ahead, coach.
You're able to play big when you're not part of the bulk of the scouting report. So you're able to play a little bit freely. So when other players, your other teammates are focused and they trust in you, they were getting the ball to Lay into Tessa because they weren't the focus. Tessa with the J, Tessa Johnson and Lay, MiLaysia Fulwiley, they were not the focal point of Iowa's scout against South Carolina. That was obvious if you watched how they played defense against South Carolina in the championship game against Iowa. It was taking away the post, taking away shots from Lay. I mean, not from Lay, from Bree. All right, because Bree was shooting fairly well that season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had two freshmen that came in that could play freely without pressure because the defensive pressure was applied to other players that Iowa thought they needed to take well or to reduce or to decrease their production. And then that's when it's next woman up, next player up.
And we talked about coach several times this season that it's different when now you at the top of the scouting report. Now it's tape out there on you. They know that
Right.
move. You got to get to your counter move. Now you got to get deeper in your bag. Now you
Yep.
have to learn how to what is that next thing you're gonna do. So it's just a growing process. Leia be fine. Leia be fine. I remember Zaya Cook went through the same. Though she had a longer leash. Don definitely let them work through their mistakes. But I see since Zaya, she's been a little stricter on discipline. Don learns lessons too. Everybody's growing. Everybody's learning. Nobody's perfect. No, nobody's perfect. So yeah, you want to be able to see growth on both sides. You can respect that answer, coach. Um, yeah, yeah. As mad as Joyce was, they definitely coming back next year. Oh yeah, Joyce on demon time.
Oh yeah, she was hot. That was fresh fish grease on her forehead. Fresh.
Yeah, Joyce is on demon time. What up, though, MJ? Hey, I gotta get with you. I gotta get with you. Let me know when you can jump in the lounge. I need to catch up with you.
And I think Joyce is going to be instrumental again. But what I wanted to finish answering was that if the
Yeah,
player
come
was
on.
looking at going to college, one was location, two, do they have exactly what you're looking for academically? Because if it's some people may try to, some programs want you so bad they'll sell it to you that is close to what you're looking for. So can you live with that, or this is something you want to pursue? And if you don't, are there other possible options? Because people do change their major, so there are other options that you might be interested in the case that you might want to change your major. So look at
Mm-hmm.
the academic, the career options, not academic, but career options. That's really what it is. The career
Mm-hmm.
options, the pathways that are offered. Do they have several options that interest you in case you change your mind or due to time, things like that. And then you're going in as a play, as a student and as a player, as a basketball, that's what you're signing on at. How is the facilities? What is your access to the facilities? What is the rules on that? Your facilities. So you look at all that, and then outside of campus, are there things that you can do that's not always a frat or sorority party, or what I mean, or the 25-cent wing night with the with the with the 50-cent beer, what I mean? So the other things, attractions and things you can do outside of campus that makes your experience for having time there make a good time of it. So there's so many different things, right? And then what is the community like, right? The community that the school sits in. So you got so many factors. So you got your career pursuit. You got to do your academics. Do you have an option? Even though can you do online course with in person? Or does everything have to be in person? Can you do online? Because you know why? Students today, young adults today, some can be on campus, but they may learn a better subject. Some subjects they may prefer to do what online if possible, because it's a different generation. So do you have that generation? They just flow better like that. They don't want to be in person. Some people have anxiety, going to class, depending on what size the university is. If you go to Division I, it's going to be a pretty nice size class in person. It is. When you go to Division I school. So those are things to look at, coming from a smaller school, more people, population, So, what's your living arrangement? Is it living situation? Is it a place in an area just for basketball, or your freshmen? You got to live, you got to live a certain place. So you look at all that stuff. I know when I did summer basketball camps at UConn, one thing I find very interesting about UConn, every dorm building has its own, on the first floor, has its own calf. So you walk on the bottom floor. And so if you live in that building, in that dorm, then there is a calf in your building on that bottom floor.
Got you. Got a question here. Rob, the man media, Mr. Shake My Hand. How about Coach Don trying to help you stick in the league since guards having a hard time sticking in the league? In the sense of Don developing pros, I think the drip develops. I mean, okay, let me ask this question. This is the question that I want to ask.
Pro is overseas and successful to me. It's not just the W. I wouldn't define them sticking as just the WNBA. If they're having success and they're making close to six figures, over six figures overseas, and they're doing what they love, that's professional basketball, and they got ready because of that program. So if you're defining it by a limited number of teams in the WNBA, that's one thing we got to remember and be fair to these young ladies. It's not even enough roster spots compared to the NBA. Their NBA gives a lot more opportunities, and they have the D League as well. So I think some overseas it still has to be an option, just because we're still growing the league and get to do what you love and make a substantial amount of money that I will never see, because I was a high school in low level Division III coach. I love it. Go do it. So back to you, Auntie.
I guess my question around this question, Rob, and maybe you guys can help me understand this is, so to me, Don coaches guards, centers, forwards, wings.
Well, coach, right?
Why does she
all positions? Go ahead.
Why does she have to develop guards to stick in the league? That's the question. That's the and I'm not saying this about you, Rob, but your question made me think about that, because they she ain't developed no guards to stick in the league, but she developed the best player in the world that's in the league, and her not developing guards to stick in the league is a bullshit narrative that y'all put out there just to be able to take shots at her. Because when I asked y'all about Alicia Gray, then y'all tell me, well, she's not a superstar. So does she have to develop superstar guard? Like the goalpost continues to move. Right. And so what about just developing players that stick in the league, having a program that develops players that stick in the league, on top of being able to have collegiate level success?
Right.
When did it become that you had to only develop a certain type of player or a certain position? I don't understand that part. Help me understand, when did basketball switch up like that? Because I don't understand that part.
So here's the thing: when you coach a team, you're coaching the whole team, not one position.
Right.
And so you and the coaching staff, you develop your team according to what you want to do offensively and what you want to do get done defensively. But also as a former professional player, she's preparing them how to carry themselves, how to see the game and approach the game in a professional setting as well, to the best of ability, to assimilate that to the best to their ability while they're still competing and for college conference tournament championships and an opportunity to get to the NCAA championship. And so here it shouldn't be a position; it's about developing the program and player. And here's the thing: the player, I can't want something more than the player. Also, the player has to put their effort into the development and to get there. Asia Wilson wanted to become great, and so Asia Wilson did that. Alicia Gray wanted to be where Alicia Gray is at, and congratulations to the freshly engaged Alicia Gray. Give me who else? Who's it? Mitchell,
Tiffany Mitchell, Ty Harris,
Ty Harris.
we can talk about a lot of different players.
So when you get somebody gives you the tool and give you the know-how, then you have to go work on it yourself. You got to go build on the tools or the blueprint that's been given to you. It's not the coach.
Oh, absolutely.
You spend this time with the coach. It is what do you do once the tools are given to you, once the resources are given to you. So at the end of the day, the coach gives you the resource and the player works the plan or they don't.
Absolutely. And no, Rob, I totally get your statement, but your statement made me think about conversations that I've been hearing that I just feel like box Coach Staley into. They try to make her look less successful by trying to put her in a box that says she hasn't developed guards.
Let's talk about it. It's a black woman who's changed the standard, and she was ahead of the times that were changing. And so there's some envy. There's a black woman head coach who coached in a different way, who coached outside the box, who reaching and changing lives. She calls herself a dream merchant. So therefore, she's disruptor. So yes. So not only do you, so here's the thing. In our culture, you got people in that's supposed to look like you, gonna give you a hard time because you're doing something that shouldn't be done in this quote unquote system. And that's just my that's just my Coach Coleman box on that today. I'm very passionate about that because this woman has done a great thing, and she's about pushing the game forward. And that's one thing I always think the selfless act of her pushing the game forward for women's basketball, not for Dawn Staley. And that's why I will always have a different respect for her than when you call it Gino and that, because in the way they are pushing the game forward, in the way she connects with the community and and things of that nature that you see it through relationships. They say a fruit by a tree by the fruit it bears, but about that means by the relationships they develop and create and keep. That's what that means. A person by how they move. I just had to get that off my chest about it because I am tired of them just dumping on this coach that has touched in so many lives and families, and it's ridiculous.
And I totally think that Don is definitely developing players to help them be able to understand the game, right, and being able to help lay develop. So I totally get the statement. I don't want to overlook that. Coach Dawn Staley trying to help you stick in the league since guards are having a hard time sticking in the league. So she's trying to give them the foundation to be pros. Like she's already walked the path that they want to walk, right? So on top of me trying to help you grow your game, it's also me giving you the on the court and the off the court, the 90% business of this that it takes to be able to make it once you get to be a pro. But you see that success just in the fact that there are organizations in the WNBA that look to South Carolina players. They like to draft Gamecocks because they know how to be pros. The Indiana Fever have no hesitation in drafting Gamecocks because they know that they're going to get a pro. They know that they're going to get somebody who's not going to be a problem off the court, who's going to be accountable, responsible, and responsive, who's going to be on time, who's not gonna whine about what their position is, who can start, who can come off the bench, who can finish, who can come in, who can have a specialty, who can do all of these things because they've been tried and tested in the South Carolina system to be able to do those things. Coach Staley always doing what other coaches are scared to do. I agree with that. It's the Deion Sanders effect and the black woman. Yeah, it's the Don Staley effect.
Right.
You're addressing on the next slide. All right. And the ladies at SC have the resources to be better individual players so that they are ready for the dub. Howard Don has established a standard that leads to natties at the highest level of college. Oh yeah, disciplined and prepared. Yeah, that's the standard. You're gonna get disciplined, prepared professionals. Disciplined, prepared professionals. That's the standard. You have to be that to wear that Gamecock jersey. If what girls don't blame the roster, if what girls don't make the roster, they're gonna blame Don again. Who? I can only give you the tools.
Oh, WNBA roster?
Oh no, wait, no clarification.
Is that what it's referring to?
The girls that just got drafted. If they don't make a roster, it'll be Don fault. I mean, I guess if you allow for that narrative to be pushed, people could push that, but all I can do is give you the tools and the resources and prepare you as much as I can. You got to go take that test. You got to go do that interview. I don't know. I don't hear other coaches be so on the hook about players making it or not. It wasn't only Gamecocks that didn't make it last season.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, I know that's what the Don haters will say, but right. It's only if people let them. I push back on that narrative every chance I get. Coach, what you got before we get ready to get out of here?
Man, I appreciate us talking about. We just got the portal popping, big things popping. Appreciate you all, fan. Without you, there is no us. Look forward to more talk, Cess Sports Talk, or Cess Talk Sports. I got it all twisted. Where am I at? Looking forward to more Cess Talk Sports on Friday afternoon, coming your way. Hope you've been practicing your pick'ems. Hey, be great in your preparation. Become excellent in your performance. Champion mentality. We got that something called NBA playoffs going on. We're gonna see who's gonna be great in there, excellent in their performance. Get in your bag, expand your bag, because you are the best. Be the change that you want to see. You can change anything you want when you put your mind to it. Change this world with one random act of kindness at a time. And hey, this is a special request from me. If you have it in your heart and it's still a little bit something there called love, spread that love, because right now, when it's going on in this world, more love is what you need and what we need, especially in our communities. Go ahead. Portal popping.
Pause. Absolutely. The W is more political than anything, and we're gonna keep breaking that thing down. Y'all know what it is. I appreciate y'all pulling up and rocking with us. If it's your first time here, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Don't miss another drop. We appreciate the support, y'all. If you didn't hit the like on the way in, hit the like on the way out. I see 262 in the chat, but I'm only seeing 55 likes. Make it make sense, y'all. Double tap on that screen, hit the like. If you're watching on the TV, scroll up to the right, hit that like, and make sure you share this video out. 10 of y'all share this video for me. Y'all know what it is. Until next time, y'all stay tuned. Talk soon.